Welcome to the prelim segment of episode 169, going over UFC Fight Night, Barboza versus Murphy. And man, we have a lot to talk about on this prelims portion because we got fucked. We got fucked real hard.
Could you be talking about the fact that you should have been 6 for 6 on verdict because there should have been a no contest?
Something like it, bro. Something like it. And even to foreshadow a little bit more, we'll start off here in the women's strawweight division.
Fuck.
We got jerking the curtain here. We got Emily DeCote minus 375.
Boo! I'm so out.
Plus 295. And I got to start my own wheels a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because I didn't pull the trigger. I didn't pull the trigger on it. But I liked Demopoulos here at plus 295. It was like a DeCote fade. Like, it's not that I'm uber high on Demopoulos, but like DeCote, I don't think DeCote should be minus 375 over anybody on the roster. Maybe Martin Man, maybe. But like, Emily DeCote's right there with the Martin Mans of the world. Not really. She's a lot better than Martin Man, but she's a king. Let's be real.
Martin can. Yeah, man, I guess from my perspective on things, like, I did score this fight for DeCote, and I think there's a way that, like, all 3 rounds are very debatable. And in fact, judges do score. Each girl wins all 3 rounds by some judge's card.
Oh yeah, and that was a hindsight 2020 take. I think right when this fight ended, I was like, yeah, like hindsight 2020 plus 295 is sick, but like would have been so sweaty. We get a split decision here. So I mean, if I did bet it, I probably would have felt like shit about the bet. But the fact that I didn't bet it, it's like big regrets. But we gotta go. We got to go round by round here. First split decision of this podcast episode so far. Like you said, there's an argument for each girl and for each round, and we get different scorecards here. So we got to get to it. Also, I think we can agree on both. And this fight was like entertaining. Like they got after it.
Yes, yeah, no, both girls were very active with the striking. Like a very minimal. Was there a takedown from either girl? I don't know that there was. There was not, right? I think Demopoulos attempted. I don't know that DeCote even attempted a takedown.
Demopoulos was 0 for 1, and I don't believe DeCote shot one. So yeah, I think you're spot on there, man. But how'd you see round 1, brother?
So I did score round 1 to DeCote. I just honestly liked her volume, liked her damage.
Yeah, no, I think that's all fair. I think that's fair. I have in my notes that I like DeCote's counters. She wobbled Demopoulos with one of those counters. But then Demopoulos like busted DeCote's nose up pretty good.
Yeah, so it's like I wondered about like the nose versus the wobble. Like, what did I count more? I like the wobble.
It's totally philosophical. That becomes subjective and philosophical, right? Like. Yeah, what would you rather have your nose leaking or be concussed? I mean, even doctors might disagree on that. Yeah. Like seriously,
it's a great point.
Like which is worse for you? Fucking, they both kind of suck. So neither one of them's great, right?
Right. Like, so yeah, ideally neither. But if you got to take one, which one?
There's also the element of I thought Demopoulos was like marching forward, applying that pressure for the most of that round too, which led into her walking onto DeCote's counters. So, I mean, coin flip, subjective. You go DeCote, I go Demopoulos. I think all fair.
Yeah, 1 judge went DeCote, 2 went Demopoulos in this round. Sal D'Amato, Ron McCarthy scored it for Demopoulos. Derek Cleary scored it for DeCote. Now, pushing to round 2, I ended up scoring round 2 for Demopoulos.
Me too. I mean, the cut was the head kick caused the cut. So like damage, that's not very murky. You land a head kick that causes a cut. That's pretty like textbook definition of damage battle there.
Couldn't agree more.
The body kicks were also pretty nice, like real heavy body kicks from Demopoulos, really loading up on him. But once again, more crisp counters for DeCote. But honestly, Demopoulos is kind of eating them. She ate them better in 2 than she did in 1. One, she got wobbled.
That was the big difference for me as far as, like, I thought this round, once again, extremely close, but Demopoulos showed a better chin or the strikes were less effective. I don't know which was true, but either way, it was visually less impressive for DeCote.
Same kind of end result on our scorecards. Yeah, agreed there, man. And then how you see round 3? I mean, all 3 of these rounds were murky.
So round 3 I do give to DeCote. and that could be like a bias. I did want to win. She's OKC girl, but I don't know. That round was super close, man. I could see it for Demopoulos, but I just thought Ducote did enough. If I really like had to paint the picture, like she just did enough.
I gave it to Ducote as well. No, I gave 1 and 2 to Demopoulos, but I gave 3 to Ducote. So we agree on 2 and we agree on 3.
So you have the exact same scorecard as Ron McCarthy. I have the exact same scorecard as Derek Cleary. Neither of us have Saul D'Amato's scorecard, which is 1 and 3 for Demopoulos, but 2 for Ducote. And I think that's crazy. That's the exact inverse of my card.
See,
I get it because the coin flips, but it's hard. It's hard to give Demopoulos 1 and not 2, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean that aligns with my logic. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't really have a pushback for that, but I'll say Demopoulos did hurt Ducote in round 3 with that straight punch. So she had her moments. You could argue that was the damage battle in round 3. Like I wouldn't argue that, but you could argue that. Like,
yeah, it's almost like I just have a harder time giving Ducote 2. Like I thought 2 was probably the best round for Demopoulos. So it's like hard for me to see you give 1 to her but not 2, or 3 to her but not 2.
I agree with that completely. Yeah, we have different scorecards, but like I feel like we're kind of philosophically aligned with 1 being a true coin flip.
Yes, 100%, man, 100%. It's like you said, the wobble versus the cut. Like, what do you like more? What would you rather have? And like you said, doctors probably would disagree as well.
Yeah, so fallout from this one, man. Ducote firmly entrenched in the camp tier, and Vanessa Demopoulos firmly entrenched in the koozie tier. She's my first fighter on the downside of the koozie tier. She has the loss to Carolina Kovacevic not that long ago, so I kind of jumped her over Carolina. Even though Carolina looked like dog shit, you could argue Demopoulos looked better as far as if you want to do extreme recency bias, but I don't think you can throw out that head-to-head matchup. So, yeah, man, Demopoulos, not a can, but not elite either.
Right. Could be pushed into can tier in a few bad fights.
Especially at 35. But
right.
In 18 months, she may be down there, getting recycled aluminum. But, Ducote, it's a wrap. Curtains. Yeah. End scene, unfortunately. But, man, let's keep it pushing here. Alatangheili, a fight that we don't have very many moments this week to puff out our chest, but we were all over this underdog in Alatangheili.
I'm a flex
Harrison,
on it.
Yeah, Harrison cashed the ticket. I had him on parlays, which obviously the leg cash, but Harrison was smart enough to do the 2-unit straight bet plus 125 on Alatangheili. I do not understand how Vegas had Clayton Rodriguez as a favorite.
He's so
Clayton
bad.
is a can.
He's
bad. A can. I get it. Alatangheili, not a world beater, but not a can, not a dumb shit fighter.
He dominated Canderson Rodriguez. I had it 30-27 Alatangheili, and I didn't think any round was close.
No. I had it 29-28.
I guess 3. You could argue 3 because Alatangheili took
2. Oh. I thought round 2.
I disagree.
Well, yeah, you know what? This was a weird one because I thought the damage battle was to Rodriguez. Now, it was damage through body and leg kicks, which are kind of harder to appreciate and harder to pass the eye test. It wasn't like he gave him a swollen eye or a busted nose, but had a lot of success with body and leg kicks. And Alatangheili in 2 did get a takedown, got 2 minutes of control. Very, very little damage. Almost no damage. Very little damage. So, that's why, I have round 2 as being very, very close. And I said, I'm Alatangheili better. And I still gave it to Rodriguez. The damage battle, the body and leg kicks, the first, 3 minutes of the round. Alatangheili, I was kind of disappointed at his lack of aggressiveness from the top position because I thought the round was there for him to steal, and he just didn't steal it. If that makes sense.
I felt like he did only because, he did lose the damage battle over the first 2.5 minutes, but it wasn't like he wasn't striking back and still landing at least something. It wasn't a full domination. And then once he was in top position, Rodriguez was trying everything he could to get out of the positions Alatangheili, he couldn't get off his back. He was doing everything he could to get off his back, but he wasn't doing a lot of damage off his back. So I just felt like the position dominance was top tier.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean, fair. I thought it was a very, very close round, and obviously two judges agree with you. So I mean, I'm not really dying on any hill here, but
Well, three judges.
oh, really?
Round
Wow,
three was the round that they gave to Clagerson on Chris Lee's card.
And honestly, I hate that. Like, I gave round 3 to Alatangheili, like with like fairly,
I felt like Clagerson gave up near the end of the fight. In all honesty, like I felt like he was down 2-0, couldn't win the start of the third round, and just kind of like sold down the river for the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I guess here's my argument as why I like Rodriguez's round 2 more than I like his round 3. In round 2, I made the argument that he won the battle on the feet, right? And I think you even agree.
You know what? You make a good argument. You make a really good argument because looking back, you're right.
In round 3, he lost on the feet and on the ground. I literally don't understand how you give him 3. Give him 2 or don't give him 2, whatever. Let's say not dying on the hill. But giving him round 3, I think, is a little wild. Like, if you give Rodriguez a round, it has to be 2, in my opinion. I mean, not that it really matters in the end, but splitting hairs here.
Yeah, I fully agree with you, though. Clagerson's best round was 2, so if he's going to win any round, it had to be 2. Because, like I said, he gave up in 3, so you're not going to give him that round. In 1, I thought that was a pretty clear round for Alatangheili. So, yeah, if you're going to make any arguments, 2. So giving him 3 but not 2 is actually crazy.
It's stupid. I know. I agree. I like your scorecard more than I like his scorecard, even though we end up with the same number, if that makes sense.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure, brother. Alatangheili gets the win, though, and like I said, we got to pump our chest out on that one. We told you. We told you so. And Alatangheili, I still can't move him up that high. I have him at 48 in the power rankings. I have him behind Victor Hugo and above Jose Johnson. A lot of you just said who.
And you're right.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, Alatangheili just like steady as she goes, right? Like, not gonna wow you, nothing to write home about, but not a bad fighter. You're gonna have to be really good to beat him.
And we called this based on his stiff level of competition thus far in his career. Like, he's a tough out for anyone that's good. So for anyone that's a can, they're damn sure not gonna have a good chance. So for him to be a dog was crazy.
And Clayton's like really a can, like
really
for real. Like I have him below. I have him at 71, below Gaston Bolaños and above Serhi Sidi. Like
Serhi Sidi, that's a name I didn't even think I'd hear ever again in my life.
You may not actually, but all right. Now it's time. I got my beer. Well, it's a long drink, but it's time to cry in our beers here, man. Piera Rodriguez, Ariane Carnelossi. Tragedy. What a number one bullshit, brother. This is my number one bullshit, brother.
Just makes me want to start spitting on my floor. Like, that's the kind of vibes this was. It's just fucking gross. Like, just fucking terrible type shit. Just pissed. I mean, dude.
So, yeah, to set the context here, this fight busts up a parlay that me and Harrison both had 2 units on. That otherwise, besides this dog shit hit at plus 431, gets us well profitable on the day. Every other leg hit. For all intents and purposes, this leg hit as far as like which fighter was the better fighter, which fighter beat up the other fighter. We called it. Melissa Gatto. Piera Rodriguez. We were pretty bullish on. We had her on you had her, I think, on 3 parlays. I had her on 2 parlays. We were all over Piera Rodriguez, and guess what? We were right to be, right? Like
we were right. She was beating the fuck out of Ariane Carnelossi. I thought first round, kind of feeling it out, right? Rodriguez doing a good job avoiding damage. Got the timely takedown with 2 minutes to go. Now, did take some damage when she was on top position. I thought Carnelossi was landing elbows to the top of the head, which is bullshit. But I still scored at 10-9 Rodriguez after 1. What did you think about 1?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, extended combinations with the boxing, takedown, control, ground and pound. And then in round 2, Piera really started to let loose.
Right, Piera was like actually tuning her up, got a knockdown, was about to probably get the finish if she would have just been smart.
Oh, for sure about to get the finish. Like, this was literally her and old boy that bit the dude. I hope they never have a child together. That child is a threat to society. because both
Yeah.
fighters were winning and just chose violence, as they say on the internet. Just chose violence. Like it was so unnecessary. Like was like 3-6 ground and pound punches away from getting a TKO finish, which is the left way, which is the left way, which is a combat sport that allows headbutting. If you're not aware, big in
Yeah.
Myanmar, where Burma, as they used to
Burma, as they
say.
like to say in England, 1990s.
But shout out to Burmese Python. But
Yeah, bro,
seriously,
I was about
like,
to say the same thing. Holy shit, you just read my brain. That was crazy. That was scary.
but just like full blown headbutt. So as much as we're crying in our beer over this DQ, we are not disputing these headbutts were absolute horseshit, and you can't have it in the sport. They were, but
What I'm
I said,
disputing is the Academy Award that Carnelossi should win for her fucking performance for being a little fucking bitch, man. I'm pissed. I tweeted her. I fucking tweeted the UFC about it. I'm pissed.
fucking the inaugural Aljamain Sterling fake DQ
Oh
award.
my, bro! And then for her to defend herself on Twitter and say that she broke her nose and nasal cavity or sinus cavity, and that headbutt must have seriously only grazed her for to have broken her nose. Hey, bitch, you got fucking stamped out on the feet. That's what broke your nose, you stupid whore. Fucking pissed. I'm pissed.
Super pissed. Like literally made this card like unenjoyable. Like to have the
Yeah.
parlays tanked on the prelims to this. Like when we were right. Like we called this fight like
It's
it wasn't competitive.
Like she was being a can and took a can's victory. Like it's bullshit.
It is like see.
She could have continued. Is
Have
why I'm
word.
pissed.
Yes, but like the foul was flagrant and egregious, right?
Take a fucking point. Like what the fuck?
Yes.
Take a motherfucking point. Like what are we doing?
Because like Carnelossi was fully like within her faculties enough to like she knew what she was doing.
Yes. She was like acting like the translator. She was telling him like I have a broken nose. So the translator like she says her nose is broken. That's why she can't fight. And the doctor goes, well, a broken nose is not what's going to stop her from fighting. Like it needs to be like some sort of brain injury. Like she feels dizzy. She can't stand up. So then the translator tells her that, and then she starts acting dizzy and acts like she can't stand. Fucking horseshit, dude.
No, it was horseshit, and I hate losing a bet this way. But it was horseshit on both parties, right?
Yeah.
Like the headbutt was absolute horseshit, and the lack of competitive spirit, the willingness to find a way out was horseshit on Carnelossi's, and like 1,000%, like both things can be true. Carnelossi gets the win by DQ plus
Absurd.
180.
Absurd.
Dog shit. But all right, call me crazy here. I moved Piera Rodriguez up a spot in my power rankings.
She looked fucking great.
She looked great.
Her performance was absolutely great. Carnelossi's was absolutely can tier. The bitch's arms are the best part of her day, and her appearance, and her performance, which do nothing. Fucking.
It reminds me of on Protect My Part. So whenever Shane Gillis is coming out Joe Rogan for like buff chicks,
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm cool with a little armpit hair. He's like, you're getting pretty close, bro.
Yeah.
I bet Joe's into Carnelossi, but yeah, Piera Rodriguez, man, I jumped her over the undefeated Eduarda Mora. I just think that like Piera Rodriguez has like some real skills. Like she made an idiotic, can't have it mistake, but like she didn't perform poorly and she didn't like fumble. Like I guess she did fumble the bag, but like not performance wise. Like she did the sport of MMA very, very good Saturday night.
We might have to take a quick pause. We have some tornado sirens going off. Let me.
Oh fuck!
Let me take let's take a quick pause, and then we will be right back here while I check the weather. All right, we're back from the quick tornado break we had to take. Good thing about tornadoes is highly destructive, highly unpredictable. They move quick. They don't really linger like that. So we're out of the threat for now. You can always have more storms come, but like I said, they're quick and hit or miss. More, unfortunately, you're getting another one. Sorry about it. You're just a magnet. You're more magnets. I don't know.
You can set your fucking watch to it, bro. You can set your watch to it.
We were just discussing how that's a pretty much brand new city every 7 to 8 years because it just gets leveled in sections by tornadoes. Shout out to Moore. But it was also probably a good time to take a break from us just crying in our drinks about Carnelossi getting a win via DQ. And honestly, how good Rodriguez looked until she made a terrible mental mistake. So I don't want to keep just harping on how shitty that was and that, yeah, that was a 2-unit parlay. So that plus 431. So we're talking about I'm getting 10.6 units. So I'm literally, and I bet 10 units a week. So I'm positive by just in that parlay if this bitch doesn't fuck me. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, we keep it pushing. We're going to keep betting. We were right. It's just no one can predict a DQ. I was telling Allie, like, if you bet a fight DQ, it's like plus 5,000. You get the dumbest odds of all time. Well, when they lump it into, if they draw. Like betting draw.
Yeah.
So, like,
well,
and I was saying DQs are less common than draws, is how I explained it to her.
Yeah, way less common than draws. I think there's been 2 in the calendar year, and I don't even remember the other one. I was shocked when I read there was 2. It must have been in like January or something. But yeah, man. Yeah, shitty way to lose a bet. Shitty way to lose a fight.
Well, the other
shitty
DQ
way to win a fight.
Was the bite.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Duh.
But 2 of the most egregious things we've ever seen.
And both of those fighters were winning.
Right. And this one was like way, like she was beating the shit out of Carnelossi. Like Carnelossi didn't have prayer to win this fight.
And it's tough too because like DQ from a betting perspective is usually lumped in with TKO or KO.
Right.
So like you would have had to bet pretty much Carnelossi to win by KO, which you're an insane person to make that bet.
Yeah, I saw someone on Twitter actually tweet, does this mean my Carnelossi KO TKO cashes? And I was like, you son of a bitch, it does mean that, but fuck you. That's my money you're taking.
Fuck yeah, right. Vegas can just pay him out of our fucking donation.
That's literally how that works. That is how that works, and it's fucked. Like, I'm pissed about that. Like, all these Carnelossi winners are literally enjoying my fucking money.
Oh, man, I'm about to start singing Richmond, North of Richmond, man. Yeah.
Dude, some Oliver North shit, what's his name? Oliver North is not him. Oliver North's definitely a different person.
No, but
Oliver Anthony.
Oliver Anthony, yeah, shut up. But fucking man, let's keep it pushing to this Abus Magomedov fight. Another bad beat you kind of got. Not as bad, but like the guy that only has 6 minutes of cardio, the first time in his career goes 15 strong. Fucking my man here had an under 1.5. I mean, wouldn't have cashed, but
he just whooped the shit out of Warlley Alves for 3 rounds and never at any point really pushed for a finish because he was trying to display 15 minutes of cardio. You piece of shit, I bet on the finish.
Yeah, you had the under 1.5 rounds, which, I mean, on paper seemed like a lock.
He was beating dude, in the first round, I was like, oh, hell yeah, we're getting Mount. Oh, yeah, we're raining down bombs, baby, let's go. It's the same thing, started the second round. Tagging him up. Okay, we're getting Mount again. Let's go ahead and get this finish here. Okay, we're looking for chokes. I like what we're doing. Motherfucker.
Well, it's like one of the things, if you're an Abus coach or even an Abus critic, he fucking answered all the questions, checked all the boxes.
He looked
but
great.
If you're an Abus bettor, all the bettors were betting the by KO, the under 1.5, the round 1 KO pick on verdict was the number 1 picked option.
Was it?
Yeah. Oh,
wow.
by a wide margin.
Wow.
Yeah, so you weren't alone. Everybody in their dog had Abus, either the under or the finish or the inside the distance. I mean, however you want to.
Plus 500 to win a decision.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody took that.
And minus 110 to get a KO. Fuck. He was plus 450 to get a sub. He was more likely to get a sub than a decision.
No, you're an asshole if you bet Abus by decision. Like, yeah.
This just fucking breaks my soul even more. I didn't realize those were the odds and the layout and how Vegas was like literally on my side. Like, yeah, bro, it's 5-1 that it's 1 out of, or like in 6 fights, he'll maybe get this decision once, but he'll get this KO 5 times is what Vegas is telling me. And I'm like, this is hell yeah, Vegas. I agree.
Which round did you give a 10-8 is really the only debate here to like dive into the weeds.
I gave round 2 a 10-8.
Yeah, round two a 10-8. Me as well. The ground and pound elbows really were unleashed.
He was ripping open Alves' face. He cut him twice, I'm pretty sure, in the second round.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, Abus, 30-26 on all three judges' scorecard. Did all three judges get round two, I assume?
I was just about to look, and yes, they did. Every judge, same scorecard here. Good job for the judges. Good for them. They got one right.
Well, this was like a super easy fight to score and all. And it's like I have Abus. It's actually crazy, and I may need your input on this. I have him right on the ugly side of Kuzi tier.
I think he's actually on the outside of Kuzi tier. I think he's just outside Kuzi. Because if you look at his other fights, man, he's had dogs that he's had to fight, and now he gets a dog like an actual can, and he beat the fuck out of Warley Alves. Like, it wasn't close. It was not competitive. I think that's not like I think a Kuzi would still have a close fight with a can.
Fair. And I wanted to get your opinion on that, and I just adjusted my Kuzi tiers accordingly. Now the question is, do you jump him over Chris Weidman in the power ranking? The ghost of Chris Weidman.
They're close. They're really close. Now, after having seen what Abus did, it actually is better for him in my power rankings, if I'm being fair. I do have Matt
Weidman. Because he can go 15.
Because he can go 15. And because he looked competent, very competent on the ground. Like, he had much more ground skills than I thought.
But see, that's where I had an issue with it. Is like, I don't know if Weidman is losing those positions.
I agree with you, but even if Abus is just staying in full guard, or maybe he's not even getting takedowns. You know what I mean? But he's a good striker. Saying. So I'm saying, like, if he can beat the bad grapplers with okay grappling and beat the good grapplers with good striking, then it just means only the good guys are going to beat him. That's where I'm saying he's like a solid UFC fighter, but he's not a top 30. He's maybe not top 4. Well, where's Weidman? 30.
I have Weidman at 45 and Abus at 46.
Yeah, so. that's I have him like right around like 42, 41, I'm pretty sure.
But middleweight's so deep, dude.
Right.
So deep. I mean, I got Shara Bullet at 35. Like,
I think Shara Bullet and Abus, very fun fight.
Yeah, you're right.
And good name value.
If Abus can get on top of that,
he'll beat the fuck out of him. That's what I'm saying. And Shara has holes that we've seen, and we need this exposure. And this is a guy that came with good hype. Shara came with good hype, and it's a back end fight that actually could be on not co-main, but like featured fight on a fight night in an arena. I don't have a problem with that.
See Shara calling out Michelle Pereira because Michelle Pereira randomly was in the octagon with the Israel flag. I forgot about that.
Was
obviously Shara Bullet's obviously Muslim from Dagestan. He wants that Michelle Pereira smoke. And I'm kind of here for it just because they matchmake for Michelle Pereira. Like they kind of bullshit matchmake him anyway. So like at least this would have something on it.
I think here's why I like the play of Abus and Shara. I'm so glad you brought up Shara Bullet. I hadn't even thought about it. But Magomedov has fought big names in the UFC and has lost to them, but he's fought them. So if you can beat him, it's almost like saying like, well, he got these fights. I beat him. Maybe I should get these fights.
Yeah, no, I actually, from a matchmaking perspective, I like your idea better. I just thought it was kind of interesting and kind of some heat developing on Twitter with Shara Bullet and Michelle Pereira.
Oh, yeah. I also think Brad Tavares is a fun fight for Magomedov.
Yeah, why not? I just don't. I don't know if there's a more fighter who I don't have like a firm opinion on. Like my opinion is like an amoeba on Abus Magomedov. Like I don't know what to think. Like clearly can't beat the best guys. Clearly dog walks can. Like is there? But see, that's where he may be the actual textbook definition of a koozie. Like I feel we moved him out of the koozie tier, but he may be actual like what koozie tier is all about.
Yeah, but I think there's other people in between him and the cans that still beat the cans but don't beat him. That's why I think he's just outside of Kuzi.
Yeah, no,
he's the hand holding the Kuzi, but he ain't the fighter that's at the backhand of that arm.
And it's crazy. I think Warley Alves gets a award here for first fighter. Well, him. So Warley Alves and Vinicius Salvador have one thing in common. They're the only fighters that be in can tiers in two different weight classes. They're like the opposite of a pound per pound. They're like pound for pound can. Can tier in two different weight classes. Warley Alves and Vinicius Salvador. How do you like that?
I like it. It's also hard to do that. Like it's hard to be that bad. But you know what?
Let's keep it pushing.
Absolutely. This fight ends in a hilarious fashion that I definitely want to get to. But also, we have money here on Melissa Gatto. What did she finish at? Minus 390? Is that right?
So she finished at minus 375. We locked it in at minus 340. So
Shout out
can't be
to
mad
us,
at
dude. The
that.
early
Yeah.
bets, we crushed early bets this week.
Yeah, so Gatto in our YouTube short talking about this fight did way better than I expected it to. I was like, a prelim women's bantamweight fight. Should I even make this clip? YouTube liked it. YouTube liked our Melissa Gatto take because we were saying how we moved this clip about how she's moving up from flyweight to bantamweight, and sometimes that can be cause for concern. But she's fighting a can in Tamiris Vidal, so like I'll take the skill level and just overall tier, this caliber of fighter and Gatto, weight class be damned. And actually, the little clip did pretty good on YouTube Shorts. So shout out if you watch that on YouTube Shorts.
I would like to also say that breakdown is completely correct and very on point.
Oh,
If you watch the fight to a T, that was exactly what we watched. Was a girl just outclassing another girl. Though she was 10 pounds smaller technically beforehand, Gatto's skill level just so much higher.
Yeah, Vidal's skill level very low as well. I mean, had zero answers from her back. I mean, even basic answers like shrimping or getting to a hip or pushing on your opponent's hip or pushing on your opponent's head or like just like bare level trying to butterfly guard, like trying to just anything at all. Just zero answers from bottom.
Now, let me ask you this. So in round 3, Gatto ends up getting the stoppage 37 seconds in by literally landing a chest punch.
Jab to boob. First ever jab to boob TKO.
Yeah, first ever boob UFC. TKO. Like jab, no less. Like that's a great point. It wasn't like a power strike. So
it's tricky because obviously the MMA rule book was made by men, right? So it's almost like I don't know if you're a woman watching this, which I imagine our demographics don't have a ton of women viewership, but if you so happen to be a woman watching this UFC prelims recap, hey, shout out to you. You're cool as fuck. But B, like terrible to a nut shot, which I guess you wouldn't have any way of like juxtaposing the two. That's why like neither side has a perspective on the other side. Like no woman knows what it feels like to be hitting the nuts, and no man knows how it feels to be hitting the fucking tits. Like,
well, I'll say this:
it makes it hard. It makes it hard to like make a rule set for, right? I mean, I don't know.
I'll say this, and I could be wrong, but I would assume in today's day and age, fighting commissions are taking into account if that is technically a low blow. The fact that they're not ruling it as such kind of shows me that like that shit probably sucks, but it's also probably one of those like, hey, this is like too big of a target area. It's just too big of a target area to say you can't hit. That would be crazy.
That's a pretty good argument. I'll just say, like, and I don't know the answer to it, but like, yeah, like how many women are in these like rule book committees and what do you call it, like commission meetings, and you know what I'm saying? I just real question. I'm not. It's not a rhetorical question. Like I legitimately am curious as how many women those boardrooms, making the fucking unified rule book. I imagine the number is very low.
I also would like to bring into consideration here, like, if you're Montserrat Conejo and you have, like, triple Ds and they rule that, like, boob strikes are illegal, you can't throw uppercuts against her.
No, you can't throw.
Think about it. She literally gets a guard, so if you try to cut against the chest and just titties, illegal strike.
All right, to play on the flip side of that, though, if I'm a woman's fighter, like say I'm a woman's fighter, I'm on a 2-fight skid. I'm just fuck chin shots. I'm just straight fucking speed bagging them things. Fucking.
I'm saying it's legal, so like the fact that other girls get hit in the chest often and it doesn't cause them this reaction, I don't know. It made me think less of Vidal, in all honesty.
Yeah, I need to. You know who we need to ask? Miji. I need to ask her that. Well-endowed lady that participates in combat sports. Like, she was the perfect person to ask this. I'm sure she's been hitting the boobs before. Like,
yeah, I literally text her and ask her. It'd be fire to know.
I know. I need to know. I'll report back. I'll report back.
And
so those
if
loyal viewers that are like every week and watch all of our. So tune in next week. I'll have an answer for you. I'm going to legit message Miggy.
And if her answer is anything short of like, yeah, that shit's debilitating, it's like not handleable. If her answer is anything short of that, then we're not going to outlaw that strike. You know what I'm saying? Because like no guy could sit there and be like, yeah, I could eat a nut shot and it won't affect me. Like there's not a man on the planet that'll say that. Well, dude will say it, but like we know that's not true.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. So like, I mean, should women? In my opinion, then, if as long as it's legal, any woman not attacking that area is almost like doing themselves a disservice.
Massive target area, like I just alluded to as well. Like, bro, if, like it's like when you body box as a kid. Like, the reason you're doing that is one, because face shots are fucked up whenever you're a kid, but also because like it's a huge target area, so you're not gonna probably like fuck up and hit the face.
Yeah, and it's honestly it's crazy that it hasn't been more of an issue in women's MMA. Like, I mean, we watch women's MMA every week, and it's very rarely even a thing. Like, it very rarely even like emerges its head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's so rare that's why I'm questioning. Like, I don't know. And then also, I just want to bring this to the attention of everyone. This was Chris Tognoni. Dude, I thought he stopped the fight quick as hell. Like, I thought there was like an infraction. He stopped it so fast. And I'm not saying he was wrong because Vidal turned her back, asked for a break. Can't do that. However, if he's going to let Vinicius Salvador get his head taken off his shoulders for 10 extra seconds, then I don't see him stopping this fast. But he does.
Yeah, but if Vinicius Salvador would have turned his head and started talking to the ref and complaining and bitching and moaning, maybe he would, you know, to make it apples to apples.
And Tognoni he was like dead set on like, the doctor came in and was like, what are you calling it for? And he was like, she got hit in the breast and didn't want to continue. Like, what do you mean? And then he was like, they said it again. He was like, she got hit in the boob. It's a legal strike. She did not want to continue. Therefore, the fight is over. And I was like, that's a fair explanation.
Yes, it's a good adjudication of the current rule set.
If you turn your back and are unwilling to protect yourself, then you lose the fight. That is the rule.
I just think it's a bigger conversation, and like I think we need to have we see Chris Lieben being a judge now, right?
Yep.
I would love to get like the Hill's opinion on like how boob strike should be adjudicated. Like women like that, like well-credentialed,
imagine if we had Senko on the mic last night. She could have walked us through the whole thing.
Oh my God, we need it. Yes, Laura Senko, please, like make a YouTube video. Laura Senko, like please make a YouTube video like breaking down like boob strikes as like a female combat sport. Like seriously, like I need to hear it. My male ears need to like, because like I just don't have an opinion, and like not to get political, but that's how I feel about like women's rights and right to choose and all that. I don't have an opinion. Like I legitimately don't have an opinion. Like whatever. Like as Pat McAfee says, like smart people figure it out. Women, humans with boobs figure this out. Like if over 50% of women combat sports athletes think that this should be like adjudicated differently, I'm not going to push back on that. Like, I don't have an opinion. Like it's just like we really need like a panel of like female fighters and female judges and female, you know what I mean? In my opinion, I think that would need maybe a special rule set or not. If over 50% of female fighters say like, nah, you know, Vidal was being a pussy, then hey, let's keep it pushing. But if it's a thing, I kind of feel bad for Vidal. Like if it's at any way equivalent to a nut shot, I feel kind of bad. But like I said, I just don't have an opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just don't know enough to say. I'd love to hear Senko's take on it. With that said, let's keep it pushing to a guy that I cannot believe was in the UFC getting a fight. That's Tuco Tacos, taking on Umar C. And C, obviously, brother of Sadabu C, a pretty good fighter. So we talked about the old Walter Walker. You can't just because someone's a brother of someone, the old Muhammad Usman, you can't just put your chips in their basket because their brother's good at fighting. It doesn't make them good at fighting. Now, that being said, Umar C, very different approach than Sadabu C.
It's crazy. One brother's
all striking.
Yeah, I did not have that on my bingo card. I'll be real. And they were talking about on the broadcast. I think Umar C same like reach and basically build as John Jones, I believe, at like 84-inch reach or some shit, like borderline Robelis to Spain levels of reach. But dude likes to wrestle. Who would have thunk it?
Now, I guess he also likes to breathe hard, and Tokos likes to talk about how his opponent's breathing harder than him. That was the weirdest shit I've seen in a long time, to continually have a guy on your back trying to choke you out and to continually yell to your corner to Brendan Allen. He's breathing harder than me, B. He's breathing harder than me. All right. Well, then don't tap in 7 seconds when the choke gets locked in, then, huh, pussy? How hard are you breathing now? You're not.
And the choke, like, locked in is generous. Was it even under the chin? Like, it was a super quick tap. Super quick tap.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he literally got, like, hands around the neck, and, like, as soon as he couldn't find the hands, he just tapped.
Yeah, man. I mean, Tokos, apparently he was on, like, a 9-fight win streak or some shit on the regional scene, but, like, it was debut on debut, so it was a no bet from us. Umar C improves to 10-0. I mean, he's 10-0. He's got long arms. He can wrestle. But I just power rankings wise, obviously he gets the first round rear naked choke. I mean, minus 535 favorites. It's safe to say Vegas got that money line correct.
He's in a good division to have these size metrics, age, and style.
I was about to say, light heavyweight's so thin, but that being said, I struggled in power ranking Umar C because it's like...
Need more sample size.
Yeah, sample size so small, competition level so low, that, like, I didn't jump him over Dominic Reyes. Now, I have Dominic Reyes super low. I have Dominic Reyes at 30. So, like, but, like, I couldn't jump Dominic Reyes just because of, like, experience, level of competition, sample size, all these things. It's like I kind of wanted to, but it would be conjecture at best, right? It would be wishful thinking. It would be optimism.
I agree.
Dominic Reyes clearly more proven.
He's going to be a hard guy to matchmake because you're going to have to just keep feeding, like, guys that we don't know much about. Like, he's going to have I just don't see him, like, that wasn't the performance that's going to get me to give you a big name. So it's like, all right, we're going to keep you in these, like, mid-level fights, and when we keep you in mid-level fights, how much are we going to learn? I need to see someone that kind of tests him.
All right, I got 3 names for you. Give me your favorite out of these names if you're a matchmaker for a day. 3 names. 1, Ion Kutalaba. 2, Marcin Prachnio. Modestas Bukauskas. I think those are the level of fights that, like, it's the next step up here.
I think Bukauskas was my favorite there.
Me too, right?
Something about it. I think enough well-roundedness about Bukauskas.
Agreed, because Prachnio is probably just going to get taken down. I wouldn't mind the Kutalaba feeding, because Kutalaba, decent name value, going to get some steam in the C hype train a little bit. But, like, nightmare matchup, because Kutalaba is like a short light heavyweight, right? So, I mean, terrible. Doesn't have great grappling. So terrible matchmaking.
I guess my take on it is, like, I just hate Kutalaba. So, yeah, if you want to get him out, I think, that's the way to do it.
You want to feed Kutalaba and, like, low-key, that's probably the biggest name of those 3, that, like, highest former card placement. Yeah. Kutalaba's had some decent card placement in the past. I think Kutalaba makes a lot of sense just from, like, you're trying to build Umar C. You kind of get Kutalaba the fuck out of there. I don't know, you can just do the Dominic Reyes fight if you really want to just figure. If you want to figure this out, see what we got. You want to see what we got? You can just do that. But I doubt they will. But man, let's keep it pushing to maybe the worst featured prelim
of all time.
I can remember,
like
legit. Yes, like legitimately, like Ho and Vanessa Demopoulos. More credentialed than Tom Nolan and Victor Martinez. Like, better name value.
Couldn't agree more.
Like,
also,
Vanessa Demopoulos has had a few viral moments. She has her kind of gimmick of jumping in the arms. Like, legitimately more, what do they call that, Q rating? Like, more Q rating than either of these guys. Tom Nolan could walk in my living room right now and fucking tap me on the nutsack, and I want to be able to tell the police who did it.
It's unbelievable, especially whenever you consider Nolan didn't score a knockdown in this fight, However, Martinez did. I mean, technically Nolan did, but like we were both talking about. So all week we talked about Martinez, live dog here at plus 360. Like that's a crazy number for a guy that we just don't know anything about, and Tom Nolan, who we don't believe in. And then when we get to the fight, Martinez scores a knockdown and rocks Nolan, and then doesn't follow up and finish, and looks like an absolute moron with like fight IQ because he had him hurt and literally like almost looked surprised, like he was like admiring his work, like yeah I landed that, and it's like hey go finish him. And then all the while I'm thinking to myself, once we see that Victor Martinez is from Saif Saud's gym, Fortis, we instantly were like oh he's gonna fumble this. Like all the Fortis guys just love to fumble. I feel like he fumbled this shit.
You ain't wrong, man. You ain't wrong. Now, crazy fight. I mean, what is this? 3 minutes and 50 seconds of chaos, right? Like, so Tom Nolan starts it off, managing the distance. Victor Martinez looks like he has no answers. Victor Martinez lands a big right hand, scores the knockdown, does fuck all with it, like you just alluded to. And then Tom Nolan comes back, gets a knee to the liver, which in real time I couldn't even really tell what happened, to be honest. Like, 'cause I was like, that knee didn't look like it landed, because I was thinking like landed to the face, but it landed to the body, I guess, and dropped Martinez and then gets the ground and pound. Yeah, I mean Martinez probably not UFC caliber.
Absolutely not. But that begs the question, like, is Nolan UFC caliber? Like, because he got dropped by a guy that we both agree shouldn't be in the UFC.
And that's my takeaway, right? People were like, oh, highlight KO for Nolan. And I was like, dog shit performance for Nolan. Like, getting dropped by a guy in Victor Martinez, like, that told me more than the KO win. And
Agreed.
call me a pessimist if you want to, but that's how I'm viewing that.
Also, Saif Saud's coaching is just so fucking bad. It was just on display once again.
So bad. And like, so there's kind of like capstone or whole kind of overarching point here. Even after the KO win, I have Tom Nolan still in my can tier. I struggle to jump him over Evan Elder. Like, give me Evan Elder. Like, am I crazy for that?
No, especially whenever you're talking about this guy's 6'3" at lightweight, but he doesn't have like the Jalen Turner athleticism. You can tell.
And he clearly has a dog shit chin. And a dog shit kind of fight IQ, and a dog shit.
He just looks skinny, bro. Like, he's a guy that'd be better at 70. I can already tell.
Yeah, not mad at that, but also, what does that chin look like getting hit by?
Well, I wonder if he's like
pounds?
killing himself to make 55. Like, if he's ultra dehydrated, it's like, bro, you could probably eat a better shot at 70, and you clearly still have some sort of power and good technique in your striking.
I'll hear that out, because like I said, at 55, I have him ranked at 87, bro. 87.
That's damn near the bottom.
Yeah, there's 99. I have 99 lightweight, so I have him 87 out of 99. I have him in my can tier. I have him above Darius Flowers and Anshul Jubilee, but yeah, bro, I couldn't put him over Evan Elder and Kanan Kurchevsky, or Abdul Al-Saweedi, Roosevelt Roberts. Like, I'm not seeing it.
I think Al-Saweedi and Roberts are good fights for Nolan, which tells you that he's ranked in your power rankings in the right spot.
Yeah, I agreed. Like, matchmaking wise, like, and I have Roosevelt Roberts like my top level can. Like, he's just the first guy of the can tier.
And so I feel like that's right. Like, Tom Nolan could be a top tier can right now, but he's still not a koozie and not a legit UFC fighter, in my opinion.
Yeah, which is crazy after a first round knockout, but getting dropped by ultimate can tier. I mean, that's like getting dropped by an Anshul Jubilee or getting dropped by an AJ Cunningham or an Alex Reyes or a Carl Deaton. Like, these are all the lightweight cans, and you got dropped by that tier of fighter. So
I just have one final note before we go ahead and wrap up this prelim breakdown, and that's that I just read a note from 45 days ago that ESPN was just wanting to put in my face because they fucking hate us. The last time we bet on Piera Rodriguez was when Cynthia Calvillo pulled out for missing weight, and we had to get that leg taken off our parlay.
Parlay, she's cursed. Piera Rodriguez parlay legs are cursed. We got to remember that.
Yeah, 100%. Just want to throw it out there, but yeah, man, I don't have much more to say about. I mean, Martinez not UFC caliber. Nolan, we'll see. I don't know that he's UFC caliber.
Yeah, I agree, bro. And like, should not have been the featured prelim. But yeah, that wraps up this prelims episode. I'm gonna, like I said, I have a friend, the female Muay Thai fighter. I'm gonna text and I'm gonna ask her, how should we view like boob shot TKOs? I got to get
Yes.
her opinion on that,
We
and
we
I'll
got to get an
report back.
answer. We got to make it a short.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Like, subscribe, check us out on X at Beefy Breakdown, on Instagram at Beefy Boys Breakdown, and we'll be back with a betting episode next week. We got a week off here, UFC, and yeah, man, every single fight, every single card. Check us out.
Yes, sir.